Blog Talk Radio.
Another minute, every step I know you're with me. I've been walking for a while down this road of redemption. Called on you, Jesus, I'm so thankful that you made a way. Cause I was always running, acting stupid, getting lost in confusion. Played the game, was always losing, didn't know what I was doing. Defeated, I was broken, suicidal, feeling hopeless. I was so far away from the truth. Going 100 miles an hour, there was no speed limit. Had a stone cold heart, wasn't worried about forgiveness. Too focused on myself to hear God's voice calling me home. I thought I made too many bad decisions. Thought I made way too many mistakes. I thought I spent too much time worrying about all the things I...
All right, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? So, I changed my song up on my show. Talked with Josh, a.k.a. Redeemed is his artist name, Christian rapper. He was on my show a few weeks ago on my ministry show, my ministry page, Shooting Straight. He was my guest on my show who came live. We had a Bible discussion and whatnot. And I asked him, would it be okay if I use his new song, Another Minute, on my racing podcast? And he said, sure. So I got to get with him and talk with him about all the, information and about my show and how I'm playing the song and stuff. But he gave me the okay, which is great. Thank you, Josh. And y'all need to look up Redeemed Music. He's got a YouTube. Got a Facebook. Look up Redeemed on Facebook. Christian rapper. It's a great new song that he just released the video for, called Another Minute. At the end of the show, listen to this song all the way through and tell me what you think. And watch the music video too. It just dropped, like day before yesterday or something like that. It was recently, and super great song. Josh is a great guy. He's on fire for the Lord. So we got a great show for you tonight. Got my buddy Warren Perkins, Greenwood Racing, going to call in. And I want to say he's at his cousin Henry's, and they're working on race cars and stuff. So Henry may call in, not 100% sure, with him. So it's going to be a great show. And Warren's been friends for a few years now, and I think highly of Warren. And y'all be sure and go like his team's Facebook at Greenwood Racing. I think he's got a group too. Gonna be a super great show. So before we get to our guest, I want to talk about fuel safety and talk about the Race Safer fuel arrestor. Now, for those that's listening, it's made in the USA, NASA-grade material. No Chinese junk, no Chinese garbage. It's like anything in racing, it's not 100% foolproof. But in the event of an accident, when your fuel cell gets ruptured, the fuel arrestor will soak up a good bit of your race fuel. And, of course, it's like anything in racing, it'll take damage. It's one-time use only. But if it saves your life, then it's worth it. You just take it, throw it away, and get you another one after it's done its job. And it's like I tell people, it's like a life insurance policy. It's there if you ever need it. You hope you never need it, but it's there. It's a good protection plan to have, just like I have the Lord up above is my protection plan. He's there for me if I need. He's a safety net for me. So let us be the safety net for you and get y'all hooked up with a Race Safer fuel arrestor. We make one for the battery case a battery explodes. If y'all remember last year at Deep South Speedway, we had Kevin Saucier's factory stock. His battery exploded in his car. Car caught fire because of it. We make one that goes around your battery that prevents that from happening and battery acid getting all over you. And we got the original one for the fuel cell. Does not matter what size fuel cell. If it's a go-kart, we can get one made for it. And then, of course, we make the fuel sleeve wrap that goes all the way to the front of the race car. And then we also make one for the fuel pump. So there's no excuse why you shouldn't be protected from a fuel fire. And so this show is brought to you presented by Race Safer Fuel Arrestor. So I'm excited. Oh, there's Warren. He's called in. So let me get Warren over. And how you doing, Warren?
I'm doing great, buddy. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing dang near skippy.
Heck,
Can't beat it. If you dang near skippy, you're doing pretty dang good.
that's right.
So look, okay. So I was just telling everybody, so they can find your race team on Greenwood Racing. They got a Facebook group, and do you have a like page too?
Yeah, just Greenwood Racing 181.
Okay.
Factory stock.
Awesome, cool. So tell everybody about your racing history, and then what class you're racing now.
All right. Well, me and Dallas Listvan went and bought a old Monte Carlo. I think it was an 82 Monte Carlo from down at Citrus Speedway, old asphalt track back in April of 2020. And Dallas ran it for the 2020 year, and we kind of was starting to figure things out, and then I got it in the 2021 year, and me and my Uncle Ray, which I got to give him a big shout out. He's done a lot for me over the years of racing. But yeah, we got it then, and like I said, we went and we raced for a good season with that until I took a bad wreck, like you was talking about safety. I took a bad wreck at Deep South Speedway and got kind of put in the wall there where I went up about 7-8 feet and come down and smacked the other wall where I broke my neck, being that I didn't have a Hans device on. And I was running the wrong day. So,
well, look,
yeah, I kind of got from that.
I remember that real well because that's the night that I met you for the first time. I was photographer in turn one, and all I seen was this pure stock car going right at me, Dukes of Hazzard style. I said, "Oh gosh, get up!"
Yeah, for a minute I didn't know if I wasn't gonna get you or not.
Oh, hey, look, that is a blessing from God. That one, you didn't kill me, and there's also a blessing that all you broke was your neck because you smacked that wall.
Yeah, I know it. There wasn't nothing I could do. It was at a bad point.
Yeah, because I remember going up to you and Tabitha that night, and I gave y'all one of my little pocket crosses. I said, man, I just remember saying that the Lord was riding with you because that was a nasty hit.
Yeah, it was. I got really lucky in that incident. But, that from there we totaled that one. Well, we went to Arkansas and we picked a new car up. Actually brought it down to Wynot. I bought it from Wynot. And we Bobby Ingersoll went all the way through it. I mean, I've got to give him a big shout out. Ingersoll Racing, he totally helped me do everything I did or what I'm doing now in racing. I mean, he swapped a bunch of stuff. I mean, it was a street stock car and we took it back to a factory stock, and I mean, it took us 2 years to build this car. And he's went 110% on the safety end of it, and I got to say, just like the wreck I had last weekend, I got hit in the door, and I was kind of expecting a hard hit, and being that I actually bought the right containment seat and got everything where everything's supposed to be. I mean, it only felt like I just barely got shook, and I was amazed by that.
Wow.
Definitely got to say you got to be safe in it. But like I said, but Bobby has definitely went above and beyond of his way of helping me out in this, and I thank everything he's done for me.
Well, they think, a lot of people, I've always heard that Bobby's the best of the best, and to know that y'all put safety first instead of, because so many times you hear these drivers, all they care about is shocks, speed, the best engine. Well, I got a so-and-so, I got the best of the best, I got a name brand engine, I got so-and-so, but none of that matters if you get hurt, and I'm glad y'all put safety first.
Oh, yeah. You have to.
Because the way I look at it is you got to come home to your family. You got kids, you got, I mean, imagine. I got the wife, and I got so how I do this racing thing. We managed to do it. Anyway. There you go. I'll tell you what, you got a trooper of a wife and family, because they go to the races all the time with you, so that's cool, and she helps out.
Oh, yeah. Even on them days that I'm like, oh, well, babe, hey, we might want to hang out at the house. We might not have it this week. No, we're going racing. Well, I mean, kind of hard to say no to at that point,
Yeah, because it's my race.
Yeah. She's like, well, if you win, I want the winnings.
Oh yeah, go straight to the front.
Oh yeah, he takes all that. I don't even hand it over. You only get to see it for like 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, till I get back to the stall back there, and then it's gone. That's what it's about, though. That's what it's about.
That's right. You can't beat it. And so you've been racing since 2020. So,
yep.
Of course, your whole family has been in racing for a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, a long time. My grandfather raced. A bunch of family members, the Polars have raced. There's Bailey's. I mean, yeah, the Rogers, all there. Yeah, we did it forever, man. List fans. There's just
that's cool.
Yeah, we truly come from a racing family. It's a family thing, and that's what we do.
Good thing to pass on.
Oh yeah, I already got 2 of them. My little one and those Henry's little boy down there wants to already get in some race cars.
That's awesome. Maybe Junior Slingshot in the feature.
Yeah, they tried to get my pure stock and start my pure stock up, but luckily I'm smart enough. I take the little wire off of the ignition there so that they can't get no fire, But they was out there spinning, trying to get her wound up.
Damn. They got it in their blood when you hear about that.
Yeah.
So
you should have seen on their face when we.
So what is your best finish to date?
This year?
This year, your whole racing career.
4th. I've got 4th this year. Luckily, on one of the races, the fast guys didn't show up. So.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I'm just waiting for the day when you get a win, and you best believe if you get a win, I'm gonna be doing cartwheels. I'm gonna be calling my neighbors and telling them that Warren Perkins won him a race.
Oh, hey, you got to get real fast. I'm gonna tell you to beat them. Chad Robinson and Sam Maxey and them guys. I mean, I got to give them guys credit all the way. Them guys, they're awesome. I mean, they hit their mark every time. They got it figured out. We're going into it this year. We got a brand new car. Like I said, it took us 2 years to build it. You know, I'm like last weekend I spun twice, and you know, we're still figuring it out. I need to tighten the car up a lot. It's probably a lot of it, but
You need to learn how to drive the car. It's a lot.
But yeah, but it's a brand new car. I mean, it's something that I'm not used to. I've always had, you know, just like we used to call it, the old shit box. That old 18 car, I mean, it was just a throw together. And that car, I mean, you know, a lot of people, you know, say, oh, it's going to be slow, but I've seen that car finish top 5 a lot. So,
well,
I mean, it was
I've always wondered why people called their cars that. I never knew why until you just said it.
Well, yeah, it's literally, it's just something that we put together to just go out there and race until we, you know, built us something, you know, brand new or got us something good
awesome.
to go with. Yeah,
that is rated R for redneck right there. That is like, go to the backyard, get your car ready, go out weekend warrior race, and have fun.
Well, like I said, Jared, it was an old asphalt car, literally from South Speedway. We was in Dade County whenever we picked that car up. It was like a 9-hour trip that we took from here to go get it.
Wow.
And I mean, it wouldn't even run whenever we got it. It was, man, I mean, it was just like I said, it was a throw together, and yeah, it was bent, and there was a lot of stuff that we just didn't know yet.
Is that track in Florida?
South Speedway?
Uh-huh.
Or yeah, it's in Florida. It's South Florida.
Oh, South Florida. Okay.
The car was literally right around the corner from the racetrack. I mean, you took a little side road to the left, and it was sitting right back there.
That's awesome. I love hearing the stories how drivers get the cars and get it ready and that kind of thing, and that's pretty cool because it goes to show you that anybody can do it. You ain't got to be a rich man to do it, you know.
Oh no, it's all time. It's all time.
Awesome. So, where are you at in points at Deep South?
Right now, I'm sitting 4th in points. Don't know how I'm there. I just show up every weekend and we try. That's all I got to say on that. I mean, but I don't know how I'm sitting 4th in points right now. If somehow, some way, I happen to get up there with Sam Maxey and Chad Robinson, that would be awesome, dude. If I could do it. But I'm gonna tell you, man, I ain't as fast as them boys right there. They got it going on, but I'm coming. I'll get there one day. But
well, look, I can tell you this. So, you've made every race so far this season, right?
So far, yeah.
Okay, good. So the reason why I mentioned this, so Kayla Gassner, I don't know if you know her or not, but she drives a bomber car at Tri-County where I work, and last year, she won the points championship over Brady Hall, and she didn't even win a race all season. But the reason why she won the championship, she won it by 1 point over Brady Hall. And the reason why she won it, because she showed up to every single race, didn't miss a single race, and always finished. And there was one race that Brady Hall missed. And I can't remember if he was sick or something, but he missed that one race, and that's how she won the championship by 1 point, and that's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, I mean, that's what it takes. All you got to do is show up.
Mhm. Cause
I mean,
you know,
it has. I mean, I can't. Just like I was saying, I really can't believe I'm sitting 4th in points right now. That's awesome, especially for my first year back. You know, it's been 2 years since I've even been in a race car. So
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a huge blessing, and I would love to see you finish top 3 in points this year. That would be a huge, huge goal, and you're already in 4th. And then who knows, some of these big guys, they may miss a race or two, and you can pass them in points, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I might if I get lucky, but it won't take them much to catch back up neither.
Yeah. I tell you what, that Chad Robinson, man,
he's moving.
He's one of them guys. He could drive a race car backwards blindfolded and win the race.
Oh yeah, he probably. I guarantee you he could. He knows that track pretty well. But
yes,
you know, he does that thing too. You know, Friday nights, and then comes and races. You know, Saturday nights on dirt, man. I mean, I got to give it to the man. I mean, he's a driver. That's what he does.
Mhm. And one of these days, that will be you.
Yeah, maybe. Once I get this thing figured out a little bit more, like I said, it's a brand new car. We're still kind of figuring it out. I know I got to tighten it up a little bit more than what we did last weekend, but we're heading in the right direction now.
Well, that's cool. So I encourage anybody that's listening to not only share this show, we're live, and to share it, and also go join Warren's group, Greenwood Racing 181. Join his group, share his post. You got any T-shirts for sale? That if anybody wants a T-shirt, they can buy one.
Oh yeah, it's on the website.
Okay.
On the page for Greenwood Mafia 181.
Okay, Greenwood Mafia 181. Okay.
We got a brand new in the making right now.
Oh,
we just ain't been able
yes,
to.
I've seen that. Yeah, that's gonna look good.
Yeah.
So, if anybody's listening that's doesn't know Warren or whatever, y'all need to go meet him at Deep South Speedway, the next race. They're not racing this weekend, but it'll be, I think, the weekend after this weekend. And it'll be I guess what I was seeing on Facebook, the Battle at the Beach street stock race.
Yeah, the Mississippi street stock.
Yeah, so y'all need to go watch that, and then go out there and pull for Warren, and go out there and scream. Make sure he hears you.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna go to the practice that we're gonna try to run that full event or whatnot, whatever we can. But we're gonna go out there and see if we can figure a little bit more out with the car, and maybe I can settle into driving a little bit more, and go out there and have fun and just have a good time out there. Try not to get in.
So, what is your? Yeah, go out there and so what I call dirt track racing, I call it rated R for redneck, but then Chris Creighton gave me the idea also, rated R for racing, which is cool. And then you go out there and you basically get your yee on, or as John Schneider says, get your yeehaw on.
Yeah, there you go.
You can't beat it.
About right.
Yeah, and did you know? Okay, so I know you know I'm a huge John Schneider fan, but did you know that he's a dirt track racer too?
No, I didn't know that.
So I met him when he come up to the Baldwin County Victory Polaris down the road from Deep South. And it was me, Chris Hartman, and Scott Freeman was there. And I'm a huge, Dukes of Hazzard fan. It's my favorite TV show of all time. I love John Schneider. I had two toy General Lees I was going to get him to autograph. And I was so excited. I was nerding out. I ain't going to lie. I was like a little kid at the candy store. I was like, oh, my gosh, it's John Schneider, it's Bo Duke. And so I get him to autograph my little toy cars, and he was so friendly and nice to me. And then I got to talking with him about the fuel arrestor, and he read my little flyer on my phone, and he took a picture of it and kept that on his phone. I was like, wow, that is so cool that somebody And he didn't act like he was better than everybody else. He didn't act like... But the cool thing about him racing is he has a dirt modified, and it's a limited modified. And sadly, his wife just passed away, and she was racing with him. She had one also, but she wrecked and broke her back, and she eventually got healed from that, but then got cancer and passed away. But his modified, I'll have to send it to you. But they race the B mods over there, which is a 602 sport mod, basically what it is. They run a 3-link suspension, and they run them over there at Magnolia Motor Speedway, and then they run them at Baton Rouge Raceway, which is right down the road from where John Snyder lives. And so I can't remember the guy's name that got him the car, but it's solid orange like the General Lee, and got the 01 on the side of it.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
I kind of like when you kind of have that scheme out there. You only see a couple cars out there with that scheme, even to this day. You know, I mean, you might see
that's right,
maybe 3, and that's about all you're going to see all year.
Exactly. And he's 61, 62, somewhere in there, and he didn't start dirt racing until like 2 years ago, and he's actually started getting better at it. And I would love to see, even though Deep South doesn't race the limited modifieds, I would love to see him come up there and at least put on like an exhibition or something with his car and then sign autographs. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, that would, man. That would be awesome. I mean, it would be nice for Deep South, just like you were saying, the girl winning earlier and all. Well, I can remember a time Angela Hayes ran at Deep South, and if I'm right, she did win the points and she won the championship race.
Wow.
I can't remember what year that was, but she was a mean one. I mean, she could stick in there with them guys just as good as the rest of them. I mean, she goes straight up there and, you know, do her thing, and hey, she hang it out there and get it out front.
That is awesome. I would love to see more females in dirt racing, you know.
Well, it ain't gonna be long. I went and got another one. I went and got a pure stock, or inherited a pure stock anyway. And I'm kind of in the midst of building it right now for anybody that really wants to get in it in the family, you know. And the wife's kind of been hitting around that she wants to get in it, so I'm probably going to let her go out there and see what we can do in the pure stock class. And, you know, she says she can drive a race car just as good as I can.
I can pass you easy. Be in pure stock. Go ahead and throw me and sign me up for factory stock. I won't even have the gear. I'll still pass you.
Oh, come on.
Wow. Oh, so she's saying she's going to put you a lap down.
That's more or less, yeah.
Just don't put no sugar in a gas tank.
Yeah, we're going to build it this year, see what she can do. If she can do a fireball over here, we might do something.
That's awesome. That is racing in the blood right there.
I do have to give it to Bailey too. Now he you know, he won the points championship last year. He's definitely a contender up there.
Man, he can
ain't no doubt.
But he can drive.
And he beat Colton by like what, 2 points or something like that. It was some close.
It was close.
He won a gallon of Milo.
Yep, it was close.
Wow.
You got him a
gallon of
Milos.
Oh, got a gallon of Milos. Oh,
yep.
You know what? I remember that now. Okay, that was a bet that he had with Kane. So tell everybody about that bet.
Yeah, part of it. I don't. But yeah, that was
yeah.
I mean, I got to give them guys. They definitely run hard. Kane too. I mean, Kane's ran. You know, he's ran really hard for the last 2 or 3 years.
And I saw today where he was selling his pure stock, and he's got another one.
I've seen that too. But is it a pure stock? Are we going factory stock? He said head in a new direction. So.
Yeah, he did say that. So I'm kind of interested to see.
Out there, and we're all just waiting to know what's going on there, bud.
Yeah, and he drives a Millennium Falcon, so he was on actually. Him and Colton was on last week, and I had to make sure and tell him that may the force be with you.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. It's Kane and Colton both, man. They're both good guys. They're both great drivers. They're fun to run with,
and they're clean drivers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I give it to them guys, man. They're a fun little crew there. They're doing what we're doing. Having fun.
Yeah, I like watching clean drivers. I'm not a fan of somebody that's just going to drive all over the place every single race and some people are just wild, man. It's like, whoa, you drank too much Pepsi there, bro.
Yeah, that's what I said. Last weekend, I'm surprised my brakes weren't glowing red.
Oh, look, if your brakes would have been glowing red when you come off the racetrack, I said, yep, that makes sense why they're glowing red. I know. I could get down there, but we just, we're still figuring it all out. Track wasn't all quite where we wanted it to be yet, but we just set up and. So what is your number one thing that you like to do in safety wise on your car that you want to tell others to make sure that they check and do? Oh, bolt check every week, no matter what. I mean, check everything, go through everything. I'm gonna tell you, I found loose stuff where it shouldn't have been, and if not for checking stuff, I mean that could have been a ride straight to, the wall or a lot of other things. It could be worse. It could dig. Yeah, that makes sense because that kind of reminds me of where I work at. I work at a Mack dealership, and every time we get a new Mack truck in, we have to do it's like a 72-point inspection or something like that. And then we also have to do when a company or a driver wants a DOT inspection, we do those like a 72-point inspection where we go over the blinkers, every single thing. And it in a way that reminds me of a race car because if you don't go out there and check all your bolts, your seat belt, because when Dale Earnhardt died, nobody took the Hans device serious, and I think I'd heard some other drivers that died from neck injuries. Well, I remember recording that race when Dale Earnhardt died, and when his neck snapped, that was one of the things that did it. But the other thing was he didn't have his seat belts as tight as they should have been. His seat belts were loose, and they came loose. And to this day, Sterling Marlin, I think he's got it's not dementia, it's some kind of disease he's got, but he still races. But to this day, they said Sterling Marlin still blames himself for killing Dale Earnhardt. Said, no, that's not what, you didn't kill Dale Earnhardt. Yes, you hit him, but his seat belts, for one, not being tightened all the way, and then NASCAR didn't have neck restraints like a Hans device mandatory. And when his neck snapped, it just kind of, and that was an eye-opener. Nobody took it serious until somebody got killed from it. And I hate it took somebody getting killed from it, but it taught them a lesson,
Yeah, well, I kind of got to, come from that standpoint too. Like I said, I took that wreck in 2021 where, it just things happened in that Shine race, and the seat wasn't the size it needed to be. It was just a regular old racing seat, nothing special. Everything, there was no kind of protection around my head whatsoever. I mean, I had one of the donut neck braces on, and I mean, whenever I hit, I mean, I just about my head bounced off just about everything you could in that car. I mean, really, be honest with you. And I mean, I learned a lot from that incident. So I went and I got an actual seat fitted for me, and got my Hans device and.
And I tell you what, and I know there's some drivers out there where they're kind of claustrophobic, and they get that Hans device, and it freaks them out because they're claustrophobic, and it's like, oh, I can't have it on. But in my opinion, it doesn't matter how claustrophobic you are, whatever's keeping you from using that device, go ahead and use it. Just deal with it, because learn from Warren, because I'm a witness to that wreck. He hit that wall. I was literally in turns 2. He hit that wall not even 5 feet in front of me while I was standing there taking pictures. And as hard as he hit that wall, I'm glad you got a Hans device, because it'll save your life. And don't, another thing I'll tell people too, is don't skip on safety. Don't do dollar store quality. Don't go, in other words, don't shop for stupid Temu or whatever that stupid site is for race parts, safety gear,
Oh yeah. Same with going out and y'all, you buy your race car from out of town, go over that race car, because honestly, after that wreck and I broke that car down, whenever we broke that car down and we really started looking at it, then, the whole halo on the car was actually just welded. It was tacked. It wasn't, there was, there wasn't full bars. There wasn't nothing. There was nothing actually there that would have worked. If that car would have went upside down that night, it probably would have killed me. To be honest with you, I mean, it ever since that night, yeah. I mean, safety's definitely been a number one thing. I mean, especially, I got a wife and I got 4 kids at home, so I expect to get done racing and come home and see everybody the next day.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Cameron Goldsworthy, and I say this all the time, I refer to myself as a safety Nazi. Like, I'm the guy that nobody wants to talk to, because safety, he's going to talk about safety, he's going to try to sell me something or whatever, which, and the ones that don't take safety serious, the ones that joke about it or put up excuses why they don't need to buy this or buy that, that's the ones that's going to get hurt, because they don't think, it can't happen to me, and then boom, one day it does,
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, it happens quick, I mean, just like that one. I wasn't expecting that to happen that night. I mean, it was nobody's fault. Nobody did nothing wrong. I mean, it was just the luck of the moment, and somebody got spun low, and, he hit me right there in the left front quarter panel, and whenever he did, it sent me straight up to the wall. It don't matter how much brake you got or what you got in it. I mean, moments like that's going to happen in racing, and there's nothing you can do about it. All I know is I'm lucky. I beat that wall 4 inches that night, and the good Lord was sitting in that seat with me when it happened.
Oh, look, I can promise you, like you said, God was riding with you. That's a good testimony that you have to tell people how awesome God is and how He works, because He was in that car with you that night, because I seen it, and it was just like a few feet in front of me. I said, good golly. I tell you one thing, if I'd have been any more scared, I'd have did it in my pants.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Hey, look, if I would have actually done that, you'd have seen me running like, what happened to Jared? Warren almost got him.
Yeah, that was definitely I mean, that was one of the nastiest wrecks I've actually, that's probably really happened at East South in the last 3 years, Probably definitely in the top 5 that caused them anyway. But I mean, that's just part of racing.
That's right. Well, I can, I've always said that everything happens for a reason, and I believe that happened for you to tell people about safety and how important it is, and then also I believe that happened for you to tell people, hey, God was riding with me in that car. You need to find, if you need to find a savior, then here you go. This is the guy that saved me. He can save you too,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If it wasn't for him, I'm telling you, man, I don't know how I walked away from that one, but I did. Luckily.
That's amazing.
After going through that whole car and doing everything that we did with it, I mean, yeah, you go buy your car, definitely go through everything. I mean, that's the one thing that I got to give to Bobby Ingersoll. We literally, everything, we pulled that whole car apart. I mean, tore it all the way down. It's not nothing, not a bolt we didn't touch, not a nut we didn't touch, nothing that ain't touched on that car except the fuel line. That is the only thing that we
awesome.
touch on the whole car. Everything else
because, somebody... And, so many times you see cars nowadays, like, if it was a 18-wheeler and a DOT police officer would have inspected that truck, and he'd be like, no, you take that piece of crap to the junkyard, because, like, some of the stuff you see nowadays, like, it looks like a 2-year-old went out there with a blind and went to welding on a car and just stuck some parts somewhere,
Oh, yeah.
So... so tell everybody about Greenwood Racing. Is that where you're from?
Yeah, Greenwood, by God, Alabama. It's actually located right in the heart of Summerdale, in between Elsinore, Alberta, and Robertsdale.
Wow, okay. Well, that's cool. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Population.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we got, just now, like sitting right here right now, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 race cars all together sitting here right now, just us. We got Dallas's car over here and street stock. We got Henry Bailey's pure stock. We got my factory stock. Ray and Josh Lassiter's 85 DL car, which will be coming back very soon.
All right, that's awesome. So, was you able to get up with Isaiah?
No, I have not talked to him. I haven't. I thought about him today, but I think it will go up and run it anyway. Yeah,
because and I'm sure it would be just like, cause see, last year before I started working there, they had at least 4 or 5 races in a row where they ran factory stock, and they run them a bunch. And then, I guess towards the end of the season, didn't get a lot of car count, I guess. But I'd love to see them, and I'm sure they may already have some races on schedule. I hadn't looked at the rest of the schedule for the year. But that would be awesome to see you run up there because, and I'm sure you've got the gear to run there too.
Oh, yeah. If not, I'll find them.
Oh, heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is dedication to racing. If you ain't got one, you can find it.
Oh yeah, I'll find it. If I got to borrow it, but I know I can get my hands on one if I have to.
Cool. So if you have one dream race car to race, could be asphalt, dirt, any kind of racing, dirt, lawnmower, whatever it is, what would you want to race?
I like it right where I'm sitting right now. The factory stock class, it kind of brings back the old hobby stock class that they were years ago. That I had a lot of family members running that class, and to me, I mean, it's kind of a big thing to be able to be out there and just do what I'm doing now. Hey, just go out there and have fun, race, Just have fun doing what you do.
So you probably remember, this is before my time in racing. I've been watching NASCAR since Moby Dick was a sardine, but I never really got into dirt racing real heavy until 2015. So you probably remember the old LA Raceway days.
Yes, I do. That's where a lot of my old folks race.
So from my understanding, because, Robert Chasen used to work there, but he worked there like a few years ago when it was a construction business there now, where it used to be. But he said you can still see where the racetrack was. I'm like, wow, yeah. That's amazing. I wonder why it ever closed down.
I really don't know. In between them, back in the day, you had Baldwin County and you had, LA Raceway. And them guys, I think if I'm right, Baldwin County would run like some Friday nights here and there. and everybody would ship up there and then turn around next night and go to L.A. As you know, I was young and then. I mean, I was probably, I don't know, I was probably like 7 years old. 5. Well, I started going at 5, but whenever everything got rolling, I was probably about 7 years old. Whenever everybody got moving in there.
So I guess that was back in the 90s then.
Oh yeah, yeah, but that was probably maybe 90, 97, 98.
So I wonder when Deep South opened up. I mean, excuse me, when LA Raceway closed, because Deep South opened up in 2001, I think.
Yeah. Well, even then, I mean, I raced. I remember I raced. I think it was 2007. 2007. I raced. I was racing Stingers. That's whenever, if I'm right, that's whenever that class was just come out. It was only a few years old, maybe like 2 or 3 years old.
Wow.
And I was wide open then, man. That was a, hey, you could race then. I mean, your tires were cheap, everything was cheap. You throw $10 in the car, race for the weekend, throw a roll cage in it, and go racing. I mean, that was a lot of fun.
So. And nowadays, you throw $10, you throw $10 at the fuel tank, and it just laughs at you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, what kind of Stinger did you have?
I had a 18. It was a what was it? It was a 19. It was a 1994 Toyota Corolla.
Ah, I bet that was a quick little car.
Yeah, old blue and yellow little car. Before then, It was the old red school car.
Oh, okay. It was a school car. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you ever win any races?
I won a couple of heat races here and there. I never actually really got a feature win. That's back, if I'm right, it was Greg Watson. I like to say Greg Watson. It might have been Gary Watson. Either or, it was one of them two right there, and they was dominating them. I mean, I definitely had the third, but I never could. I never could get right up there with him. I knocked the foam out from under his bumper one time, trying to catch him.
Wow!
I knew I wasn't going to get him, so I just let him know that I was there that night. That's back in my young days.
Speaking of Gary Watson, I got a funny story for you about him. So. This has been several years ago. This is back, like, he quit racing locally for a long time because he don't race local much anymore because he races the SCDRA class, the Sport Compact class. And, of course, they're like our Stingers, but they're way more horsepower. You can do more to them. They're the most high-end four-cylinder car there is. And
so... four-banker running, son.
Yes, and so he was... I want to say it was at Northwest Florida. I was either there or Southern. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Northwest Florida. It's been 4 or 5 years ago. And he had come back to race local, and he was smoking them. He was smoking, and, well, he avoided hitting a car that had wrecked. Well, they called the caution on him and made him go to the rear. And he was not happy at all. And he was just, why, just revving it up. And don't you know it, he's such a darn good driver. He come all the way from the rear of the field, and with 2 laps to go, took the lead and won the race and never looked back. And he went out there and he was doing donuts, and he was just,
Oh, yeah. That's what that's what it's about. I'm pretty definitely that was probably the guy, he was hard to beat then.
Well, look, if you ever win a race, I'd love to see you do some donuts.
It was old Saturn then.
Yeah, Saturn, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a story I won't never forget. And I don't blame him because I remember it was not his fault that caution came out, and they blamed it for him. And when he won the race, he did donuts. And he showed his butt to let them know, say, hey, you ain't going to get me.
Oh, yeah. He's I mean, it was a lot of fun running that Class 10. Like I said, all of us guys, it was competitive, and it wasn't expensive. So, I mean, there was a lot of nights we showed up out there and we had 22 cars.
Wow, that's awesome.
I mean, there was a lot of races back then on Deep South, and I mean, I got to say, for a Stinger car, man, it felt like he was going forever on that back stretch whenever it was a half mile.
And, I miss it. I miss the big track, man. I ain't going to lie. I wanted to cry when they made the track smaller because I love big racetracks. Big means fast and go. It's the whole name of the game. Yeah. And when they made it smaller, I was like, man, why they got to do this?
Yeah, I kind of thought
the same
thing, but they're doing good with it, though. I mean, they're definitely, they've been getting the track worked out and getting things figured out there. It's definitely a racy surface for what it is. I mean, it's a fun track.
And I tell you what, I got to give a shout out to Mr. Billy Robertson, Jeff Clark, race director, Ryan Carpenter, promoter, and then of course Mitch Kuchera, the announcer, and then Tech Man Vernon. They do a darn good job at Deep South Speedway. They put on. Man, I watched them sprint cars race last weekend, and I was videoing all the features for the Southern Dirt Track Report. And my bucket list race, I've seen the sprint cars race a lot, different versions of sprint cars, but I videoed them sprint cars, and that was my first time videoing sprint cars, and like that was so cool to see the way them sprint cars are running around Deep South, like that Kyle Amerson that won it. Man, he is fast.
Okay. And just like them last 3 laps, I mean, that was awesome. That old buddy staying down, in the groove down there, and the other guy was running on that outside of that track. But same for him. And I can tell you just as much as anybody else out there. If any drivers would get out there, and y'all would get out there and pack in the top of that racetrack, or at least help us get some kind of surface up there, we would have more than a racing. I mean,
and you are so right. I can't.
Not one of us that got to get up there. I mean, we kind of all got to go up there and get something going up there. And I'm telling you, we have a new racing surface if a lot more guys would get to the top side of that racetrack.
I agree. I can't stand one groove racing. It makes me so mad when they just play follow the leader. I said, look, you can't be scared. Go race to the top. You got to grow a pair and go to the top, just like Warren said, just like them sprint cars did. I love the fact when I saw them sprint cars go out there and they started dusting off the top of the racetrack. I said, oh, boy, here we go. And it was top, it was bottom, it was racing all over the place, man. And that's what I like to see. Wait, what now?
I said them last 5 laps that groove come in for that blue car.
Oh, let me tell you, yes. That blue car was coming.
He was moving something outside of that racetrack.
And what was crazy was Lane Whittington and the yellow number 9 car. So Cameron Goldsworthy has been telling me that he's been working with Lane Whittington this season. Well, he had told me this, and I forgot about it until Mitch announced it. But Lane hadn't been a race car in 10 years, and he won Friday night up there. And then Saturday night, had a flat tire. I watched it. I got it on video. Had a daggone flat tire, come back out, and moved all the way from the rear to finish second. Almost won the race. I was like, holy cow crap, Batman. That guy is moving.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's nice you won't there. I mean, you can't ask for a better night than that. Go all the way
oh,
from
no,
the
you can't beat that with a stick.
I mean, that's awesome,
yeah, exactly.
man. I wish
Man, I can imagine you driving a sprint car one day.
I don't know. Wife won't let me in one of those. I'm lucky to have what I got.
And you know what? I ain't gonna lie. Them things are kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little quick. If I got offered, I'd definitely go out there and try it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there ain't no doubt I'd go out there.
And I've had some
fun.
people tell me, well, I don't want to drive a sprint car because you got the drive shaft in between your legs there. I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it or not. I want to get me a race car, but I don't want to get a sprint car.
Dude, the old vintage class, you know, back in the 2000s was like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was the outlaw vintage, they called them.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they did. I mean, they'd set the seat right over and drive shaft be right there on your leg or right there in the middle.
Wow. Well, that was back in the day when Deep South run the vintage class full time, and I'd love to see that again.
Oh, that was awesome, man. That's what I say. That's what I say. I mean, I've been racing since 2007, and I probably took more or less, yeah. I took about 12, 13 years off, I guess, something like that, and then went to pure stocks for a little bit for a season, and then turned around and took 2 years and trying factory stock. I mean, like I said, it's
cool.
a lot.
So
it's fun.
That's awesome. So before I let you go, you want to shout your sponsors out? Anybody that works on your car you want to shout out?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Joe's Tractor Repair, J&W Drilling, Josh Lassiter, Bobby Ingersoll for everything that he has done to the car. I mean, I give him the biggest shout out of them all. He's helped me in a big way. I couldn't be doing this without him.
That's great.
And Assad for doing all they do, keeping us going, and the Greenwood Mafia for everybody in and helping everybody get everything going.
So, because Southland Sod, that's where you work at, right?
Yes. Yeah, but
that's cool. So y'all are a sod farm.
Yeah. Yeah, I work for a sod farm right here in Elsinore, Southland.
Well, that's cool. So you have what now?
We have 3 varieties of grass: Centipede, St. Augustine, and Emerald Georgia. If anybody needs any grass needs, Southland Sod for all your grass needs.
Well, that's great. Well, it sounds like y'all got the best grass you can buy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I mean, that's all we do. We cut the best of the best.
That's awesome. You don't happen to have their phone number handy, do you?
I'm right here with me. But you can look them up on Facebook, and they got a page on there.
Okay, awesome. Southland Side, great. Well, I tell you what, I appreciate you coming on the show. I hope everybody that listened shared it. And Warren's my dude, man. We go back a few years now, and me, you, and the Chicken Man. Did you see the pictures I posted of the Chicken Man the other day on Facebook?
No, I didn't.
So Chris didn't turn into a chicken farmer, and he got a pet chicken named Mike the Rooster, and so I got some goofy pictures of him the other day when I went by his house, and I put as my caption, I said, yeah, Chris said if Mike the Rooster acts up, he's gonna send him to KFC.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Well, that's cool. So
he's a good fella too. He's definitely, we've come a long way. Helped each other the best we can. I mean,
I would love to see Chris get back into racing. I don't know, his health won't really allow him to now. That and his work, but I would love to see him eventually get back in it. And he's got a pure stock. I do believe he can get ready.
Oh yeah. if he wanted to race, he could race.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling. I might let him turn loose in the 4-car. We'll see.
That's
I
cool.
know he said something about he wants to race. Well, that's what I said. It's better to get somebody in this thing over here than it is for it to set up, you know. So we're fixing to go through it, take it out, and go through everything and see what we got, and we're gonna add another one.
Well, that's cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. And got anything else you want to say before you?
Just like I said, I mean, I got to give a big shout out to Bobby Ingersoll on Ingersoll Racing, doing everything that he does for the car and me. You know, keeping around and Ray Track Repair and everybody that helps keep everybody going here with the Greenwood crew. It's what we do.
And especially your wife.
Yep.
Well, that's cool. All right. Well, thanks for calling in. We'll see you later.
All right. Thank you, Jared.
All right. Later, man. All right, y'all. That was cool. So that was Warren Perkins there, Greenwood Mafia. I don't think I got another guest. I don't think Henry's going to get to come on. He's working on his race car. So what a great show it's been so far. I got to, once I get my computer back going, I got to talk about this weekend's racing at the Swamp, Tri-County Speedway. So y'all come out and see us Friday night and Saturday night, 2 big nights of racing. We got the hot dogs of racing this weekend. And so the top 2 finishers from both, or the top 2 qualifiers for each feature, is going to have a hot dog eating contest at intermission. And so if you finish in the top 2 for each feature, and as far as qualifying in your heat races, then you will have a hot dog eating contest. And the contest is so you can eat the most hot dogs in 2 minutes. Oh, my goodness. So Dale Lucas ain't racing this weekend, so he's not going to get it at 602. That would be cool to see, though. Shout out to Dale Lucas and his family. Dale's off to college this weekend, starting college back. So I ain't gonna lie, I kind of hope it's my buddy Jamie Mazingo. Like, if he's taking the Iron Horse car, I believe. So I'd love to see Jamie stuff his face full of hot dogs. I've been talking about, like, there's going to be some drivers out there. They're going to be having to crap like a crippled goose during that feature. Like, see how many hot dogs you can eat within 2 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Look, you better hope you go to the bathroom before that feature starts, because during the middle of the feature, you're going to be having to go. And that is going to be friggin' hilarious. Like, I'm glad I'm the announcer. I'm glad I don't like hot dogs. I'm not going to eat them. I think they're basically dog food, but like, yeah. So whoever eats, and they got a championship ring and some cool trophies to give out this weekend. But the championship ring is going to be to the winner of each the hot dog contest, I do believe. And so let me go to our Facebook, and I'll read about it. So, man, whoever eats them hot dogs, I feel bad for them. You know, so like Dale Earnhardt Jr. said this many years ago, because like I was telling Warren, I've been a NASCAR fan for many, many years. I'm 38 years old. I've been watching NASCAR since 1990. And I believe I was born with NASCAR in my brain, but, you know, I was too young to know what NASCAR was back in them days. But in 90, I remember the Quaker State car, Jeff Bodine and Brett Bodine, the Bodine brothers. I remember them real well. And so, Alright, let's see. Let's go to Tri-County Speedway's Facebook here. Oh yeah, here we go. Thursday, reminder, the Impact Zone Photo Bombers. We'd like to say a heartfelt thank you to our class sponsor, Mr. David Kranick, with Impact Zone Photos. He'll be sponsoring your class with possibly $500 in extra cash on June the 1st. Here's how it works. The Bomber feature winner has to win both Friday night and Saturday night features. Mr. David will present you with the extra $500 at the flag stand after all the features are completed to take your feature winner pictures. So, Bomber class, you have the possibility to walk away with $1,800 for the weekend. How? If you win $300 Friday night, win the hot dog eating contest, $1,000 to win feature, and then $500 from Mr. David. Wow. No matter the outcome of the hot dog eating contest, if you win both features, you leave with a minimum of $300 plus $400 plus $500 equals $1,200. That's right. That's the least you could drive away with for the weekend. So guys, get those cars ready and join us back at the Swamp, May 31st, June 1st. Take time. Yes, please thank Mr. David, and it goes on thanking him. That's cool, man. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, Mr. David, I think highly of Mr. David. He's taught me a lot about taking pictures and stuff. Alright, so this is yesterday. It's hump day, which means we're 2 days away from 2 nights of racing. What a sweet emotion to climb in behind that wheel and feel the motion of the car going around the track. Make sure to let your family and friends know that we're racing this Friday and Saturday night. Also, don't forget, get new fans in the stands. And that's cool. So, let's see, it's race week. Info below, 2 nights of back-to-back racing. May 31st, June 1st. May 31st, Impact Zone Photo Bombers, $300. Pure Stocks, $400. Iron Horse Late Models, $400. IMCA Mods, IMCA Rules, $700. And then the Advanced Environmental Recycling 602 Late Models, $700. Then the Real Hot Dogs of Racing will be hitting the track in the Swamp on June the 1st. Some of the best. Edge Your Seat Racing goes on, and the Impact Zone Photo Bombers, blah, 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 goes on. Advanced Environmental Recycling, let's see. Each class is 2 pole setters will eat as many hot dogs as they can in 2 minutes. The total between the 2 racers representing their class will be added up as one total count. Payout in the hot dog eating contest for the features is as follows. First place class, $1,000 to win, and the 2 pole setters will also get the trophy and champion ring. Second place, $800. Third, $600. Fourth, $500. Fifth, $400. Second place back in each class will get regular payout. Stop will wait the Impact Zone Photo Bombers, and then added extra money. Let's see. Pits open at 6 on Friday night. 3:30 on Saturday. Prices per night: $30 pit pass, 11 and up, $15 ages 3 to 10. Free ages 2 and under. No car entry fee, no transponder fee, no ATV fee, no extra vehicle in the pits fee, no tailgate section fee. Isn't that awesome? Like, so many times, fees is what kills racetracks, and that's awesome. Fuel and tires will be available. Racers, don't forget, get new fans in the stands. So, speaking of the hot dog contest, so I brought up Dale Earnhardt Jr. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. talked about several years ago in NASCAR. This is before he retired. They was interviewing him on Fox before the races started, and they said, Dale Jr., and I don't remember exactly word for word how it went, but it was along the lines of, what do you do if you got to go to the bathroom out there in a race, a NASCAR race? And, he said, well, you're going such high G-forces that you don't go to the bathroom. You just don't go to the bathroom. And because the high G-forces make it to where you don't have to pee, whatever. But he said if you go, then you just go. So I guess you just either pee all over yourself or doo-doo all over yourself, I guess. And so, and he's like, well, it's not like you can come under caution and take a pit stop and run and go to the bathroom. I said, no, you can't do it. You lose positions, you know. So, man, I feel bad for these guys that's gonna eat the hot dogs. And I'm sure some of these drivers are like, yeah, I don't need to qualify on the pole because I don't want to be eating these hot dogs. But that's gonna be hilarious. So come see us this weekend. I'm announcing. I love being an announcer. They say, everybody tells me I'm doing a great job, which is a blessing from God. Thank you. Everybody that's told me I've done a good job. Hopefully I'll be able to play music this weekend. I'm tired of not being able to play music because hopefully I got the correct device to use to play music this weekend. So as soon as I get off work tomorrow, coming home and getting ready, and I'm going to the swamp. And y'all, please pray it don't rain Saturday. Please pray it don't rain Saturday, because I want to work both nights. I love the swamp, man. I love that track, man. The Day family is so good to me. A shout out to Isaiah, Miss Marilyn, and also I got to give a shout out to Scott Kosak with GetInTheStands.com. So he came on last week, and if y'all listened to my podcast last week, he came on as guest, and he talked about what GetInTheStands.com is. And it's basically an online racetrack directory where you can search racetracks all throughout the country. And if you're going on vacation somewhere and you're not sure where a racetrack is, and all you got to do is search it on GetInTheStands.com. It's a racetrack directory. Now, sadly, a lot of tracks don't know about this site, but what I encourage any racetrack that's listening, you can claim your listing for free. So you go on there and you find your track, and most every track's going to be listed, but it's not going to be claimed more times than not. And when it's claimed, that means you have to be somebody that works at the racetrack. You can't be a driver. Got to be somebody that works at the racetrack, promoter, whoever. And go in there and claim that listing, and when you claim it, you add your address, your telephone number, your website, your Facebook. You add all your social media links to that listing. Then you add all your information about your track. Is it quarter mile, 3/8, 4/10, whatever. Then you add a picture and a logo. So you add your track's picture and logo on there, and it's free. Free. You can't beat that with a stick. Now, what we won at Tri-County Speedway was we won Track of the Year for the state of Alabama. And so if you win Track of the Year, no matter what state it is, it's a really huge deal to win Track of the Year. So what comes with Track of the Year is free race date promotion. So I got all our fans to vote for us, and they voted. They voted in droves. I don't know how many we had final votes, but to beat every single track in the state of Alabama that entered is a pretty big deal. So what we won is the race date promotions, which is $250 a year. And so the track listing is free, but if you want the race date promotions, it's $250 a year unless you win the contest. They do each year. And it's a blessing that we won that contest, which means they will promote us on their website, plus their Facebook page with over 65,000 followers on their Facebook. They will promote us, promote your track all year long. That's what you get if you pay the $250 a year, $250 a year, which is a bargain because every time you do a race date, and they pull that race date off your website or your Facebook, then they'll post it directly to their site and they'll advertise and promote it for you for a year. So shout out to Mr. Scott Kosak, the owner of GetInTheStands.com. He came on last week, so appreciate you. God loves you, Scott. And God loves my buddy Warren for coming on. Thank you, buddy. Tabitha and his whole family. They're good people, man. I'm glad he brought up safety and safety. So, yeah, I need to get with Warren about the replay of the show. So, the sprint cars were awesome last weekend. Deep South Speedway, awesome racing, like Warren said. So, yeah, that was fun, man. I finally got to film the sprint cars. That is a dream to film the sprint cars. Like that, I recently put that on my bucket list. I said, you know what? That was awesome. I enjoyed filming the sprint cars. Oh, y'all go check out my videos. Go to Southern Dirt Track Report. Go to our Facebook and click supporters. The blue subscribe button. You'll click the subscribe button, and it'll take you to our supporters page, and it's $4.99 a month. I know all you drivers spend money on Dirt Vision and all these other brands, Flow and all these other brands, and you pay way more than $4.99 a month. If you want to see some good local racing, then join our group. It's $4.99 a month. You'll see videos from me, Amber, Artie. Artie filmed at Hattiesburg last weekend, so he'll be at Hattiesburg tomorrow night. And then Amber films at Jackson when she can. So shout out to Artie. He's the reason I'm filming videos. That's my dude there. And praying for you, Artie. Hope you can get you a new car, man, because Artie's been having a time with that car of his breaking down on him. And if y'all would say a prayer for Artie that he can get him a new car, man, that'll help him out a lot. Get him better, reliable transportation to and from the racetrack. But yeah, like us on Facebook, Southern Dirt Track Report. You can't miss us. We got several thousand followers. I think last time it was over 12,000 followers, maybe bigger than that now. But yeah, that's where all of our race videos are. You're not gonna find them nowhere else. No freebies. You know, we gotta make, as Artie puts it, we gotta make money too, because no more freebies. And I like that because, we drive a long ways to the races. Artie drives over an hour to Hattiesburg. Takes me an hour and 45 to get to Deep South. 2 hours to get to 2 hours to get to Northwest Florida. And then Tri-County is an hour and 18 to Wynot. It helps us with the fuel, and it helps us with being able to get better equipment to film the races with, promote the races, whole 9 yards. So y'all go give us a like and thank Artie for what he does, for real. He's a pioneer in dirt track racing, man. He started the Southern Dirt Track Report many years ago, and just go send him a message on the page and encourage him. And then look up Artie Schick Track Promoter too. That's his like page. But I don't reckon I have anything else for the podcast. I got to thank Warren Perkins for coming on. Thank you, buddy. God's great, man. I had a great day. I'm excited for what God has in store for me next. If y'all would pray for me and pray for what's next, because I'm ready for what's next. I'm ready for a huge change. And if it's the Lord's will, maybe one day I'm selling fuel arresters full time. That's one of my goals anyways, And be sure and thank Robbie for what he does with safety, because, Robbie's the one that invented the fuel arrestor. So like us on Facebook at Race Safer Fuel Arrestor. Like us on TikTok. Go find us on TikTok at Race Safer Fuel Arrestor. You'll find, type in Jared Hudson or Race Safer Fuel Arrestor. I think you'll find me both ways there on TikTok. And then check out our website, RaceSaferFuelArrestorLLC.com. Let me know what you think, because I got many hours spent on that website building it, and it was a lot of work, and I'd love to know what you think of our website. And buy a fuel arrestor from us, man. Fuel fires are dangerous. Safety is important, man. Don't skip on safety. Don't be one of these idiots that just jokes about safety and don't take it serious. Don't be like that. Be smart. God first, and everything we do is fuel arrestor. If it wasn't for God, we wouldn't have this business. Thank you, Robbie, for getting me involved in it. Share this show out. I don't know if anybody shares the show or not, unless they tell me. I have no idea, because we're live on the air. Eventually I'm going to get it to where I'm live on Facebook at the same time. That way I can be live on Facebook and on Blog Talk. So that'd be awesome, a double whammy, because that way, if you live on Blog Talk, through Facebook, people can comment questions. They can, talk back and forth with you. so they can interact that way also. I got to give a shout out to Chris Creighton, Race Chat Live, the voice of the House of Hook, Why Not Motorsports Park. Thank you, Chris, for this show. Thank you to Jason McMillan with the 110 Nation Sports. Go like us on Facebook and also like Race Chat Live on Facebook, which is Chris's NASCAR podcast. But like the 110 Nation Sports on Facebook. Big things coming in the 110 Nation, y'all. Big things are coming. And as long as Blog Talk keeps working for me every week, I'll stay on Blog Talk. I love Blog Talk, as long as it works. But some days it does like the government and doesn't want to work, and that is very frustrating. But yeah, thank you, Lord. Thank God for everything that I have. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have nothing. Glory to Jesus, glory to Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. That's all I'm about. I tell people about Jesus. Speaking of Jesus, before I go, also look up Racing Towards Jesus Ministries on Facebook. I'm looking at a decal right now. My friend Ron Southern runs Racing Towards Jesus Ministries. He's the announcer and track chaplain at Hattiesburg Speedway. He works with Mr. Donald Parker over there, so shout out to Ron. He's one of my awesome friends that I think highly of. He's my brother in Christ, so thank you, Ron, for what he makes all my logos. So if you need any logos, hit Ron up. He does track T-shirts too, so shout out to Ron. And yeah, so I'm going to end the show with the song I was playing earlier from Josh Richards, a.k.a. Redeemed Music. And listen close to this song called Another Minute. Watch the music video on YouTube and tell me what you think. But what a great show tonight. We'll see y'all next week, 7 p.m. Central. God loves you. Jesus saves. Listen to this song.
I don't want to waste another minute. Every step I know you're with me. I've been walking for a while down this road of redemption. Called on you, Jesus. I'm so thankful that you made a way. Cause I was always running, acting stupid, getting lost in confusion. Played the game, was always losing, didn't know what I was doing. Defeated, I was broken, suicidal, feeling hopeless. I was so far away from the truth. Going 100 miles an hour, there was no speed limit. Had a stone cold heart, wasn't worried about forgiveness. Too focused on myself to hear God's voice calling me home. I thought I made too many bad decisions. Thought I made way too many mistakes. I thought I spent too much time worrying about all the things I couldn't change. Thought that I was too far gone from mercy. Thought I'd wasted way too many days. Thought I spent too many long, cold, dark nights digging my own grave. But you showed me mercy. You showed me grace. And in that moment I knew how that harlot felt when they dropped those stones and walked away. I don't want to waste another minute. Every step I know you're with me. I've been walking for a while down this road of redemption. Called on you, Jesus. I'm so thankful that you made a way. Cause I was always running, acting stupid, getting lost in confusion. Played the game, was always losing, didn't know what I was doing. Defeated, I was broken, suicidal, feeling hopeless. I was so far away from the truth. Going 100 miles an hour, there was no speed limit. Had a stone cold heart, wasn't worried about forgiveness. Too focused on myself to hear God's voice calling me home. Then I found you, you picked me up. You changed my name and you filled my cup. You carried that cross for me on Calvary that day. And I can't wait to see your face and hear your voice when you say, welcome home, my son. And you open up those gates. And I don't want to waste another minute. Every step I know you're with me. I've been walking for a while down this road of redemption. Called on you, Jesus. I'm so thankful that you made a way. Cause I was always running, acting stupid, hear God's voice calling me home. And now I'm home.